maafin Budi, Bu. Budi terpaksa bohong sama Ibu.
Children in Indonesia are facing harm from online child sexual exploitation and abuse, OCSIA. A released report from Disrupting Harm in Indonesia finds that children are highly active internet users, with 95% of children ages 12 until 17 going online at least once daily. This was accelerated with the COVID-19 pandemic as many aspects of children's life were shifted online. From research that took place between 2021, at least 2% of internet-using children in Indonesia were subjected to clear example of online sexual exploitation and abuse. The unpleasant fact is that up to 56% of online child sexual exploitation and abuse in Indonesia goes undisclosed and unreported. Children experience online sexual exploitation and abuse mainly through primary online services such as WhatsApp, Facebook, and other messenger platforms. The forms of children online sexual exploitation and abuse include blackmailing children to engage in sexual activities, sharing their sexual images without permission, and coercing them to engage in sexual activities through promises of money or gifts.
The main aspects of this policy includes legislation, prevention, reporting, and response. It is important to mention that while these offences are outlawed, current laws do not cover online forms of such offences adequately and leaves them up to interpretation. For example, laws criminalizing grooming indicate that this must take place with the intent to meet the child in person, which leaves out cases where the intent is to meet online. More adequate coverage is expected with bills currently in the works.
Online sexual abuse cases are mainly reported through the SAPA 1-9 National Toll-Free Helpline managed by the government. Victims and family are then connected to a government social worker. Other government hotlines are also available for the public to report inappropriate online content. Investigation of crimes largely falls within the responsibility of the Police Cybercrime Directorate, which collaborates with units under the Ministry of Women and Child Protection. Clearer guidelines, however, need to be established between the various agencies involved in the investigation process. Victims are provided with legal assistance with police and court proceedings. They are also provided with medical and psychosocial support through the UPTD-PPA, a government agency which acts as a referral center so as to prevent re-traumatization of victims. As law enforcement officers are not yet fully equipped with child-friendly approaches, relevant training is in the works.
Preventive action. The government is focusing on progressively changing norms and values to socialize non-violent behaviors toward children. This is carried out by creating forum and discussion that targeted religious leaders, traditional figures, families, and societies. Coordination with relevant sectors such as collaboration with UNICEF to pilot workshop of sexual violence prevention in several boarding schools, with students as a facilitator. However, governments still strive to involve digital industry in promoting safer online environment and drive the digital literacy.
This policy is in a relatively early stage, and its implementation so far reflects some of its complexities. On the surface, caregivers are unwilling to take legal action and prefer instead to handle them through non-state means, as persons known to children are the most common perpetrators, such as teachers and religious leaders. Children could be met with disbelief by others. They can also experience shame and fear with concerns that it would cause trouble or bring shame to the family. In addition, topics related to sex remain largely taboo, and children are often more comfortable telling a friend or a sibling when they experience abuse. This raises questions on the policy's emphasis on parents' involvement, which is based on the societal expectations of parents as the protector. Family dynamics have other nuances that can act against the policy's assumption, such as the importance of not bringing shame and authoritative parenting styles. More nuanced targeting of the policy programs is needed. Considering Indonesia's landscape with many local levels of authorities, executing central government policies equally in all areas will be difficult. especially for remote regions with poor infrastructures, information access, different social cultural contexts, and lesser resources. Therefore, policies should be more accommodating by enabling the regional government to localize programs effectively. The policy also does not accommodate certain segments of children, such as those with disabilities or are out of school. More inclusivity is also needed. Going forward, providing protection for children in cyberspace could become increasingly difficult with fast-changing technologies, coupled with the long time needed to change social cultural attitudes and mindset.